Welcome to the walkthrough for Edexcel Foundation. It's from November 2021 and it's non-calc paper 1. So first page, don't overcomplicate but also don't take too lightly. So first question, 3/10, don't forget 1/10 of a pound is 10 pence. So 3/10 is 30 pence. Pence and percent, pretty interchangeable. Question 2. Tick them off as you go. Very easy to miss a number out. So smallest is lowest is -10. Then it goes up to -7 and -2. Whoops. 0, 1, 8. Done. So 9 over means divide. So it's 9 divided by 100. Or if you prefer to move the decimal places, then move it twice and you get 0.09. Round off to the nearest 10, so the number in the tens column is a 2, is a 7 after it, so you need to take the 2 up to make 330. Number 5, we're squaring a number, and squaring something means multiply it by itself. 49 for the mark. Number 6, it's got one pair of parallel sides, so the only thing it can be is a trapezium. It's actually got the line of symmetry, but that's not what makes it a trapezium. That would make it an isosceles trapezium, but it's not bothered about the word isosceles. Write down the mathematical name of this. It's a cylinder. And number 7, so non-calcs, don't forget. So you need to do 42 divided by 3. So get your mental arithmetic or bus stop skills going. Either way, as long as you get the answer 14, you've done it correctly. Number 8, as soon as I see a bar chart, the first thing I check is whether the heights are the right height. Alright, and if that doesn't work, then you start checking the Y and X axis to see what the labels are like. But as you can see, there's 10 for blue, looks good, but no, alright, brown should be on 15. So any words to that effect, it's only worth 1 mark. And as normal, might be 3 dotted lines, but who cares? You're not expected to fill all 3 dotted lines. Number 9, Danny buys all these. So make a list as you go along. So he buys 1 loaf of bread, that's £1.20. 1 bottle of milk, that's 70 pence. And 2 packets of cheese. So again, mental arithmetic or short multiplication to be getting the £4.60. And total it up, and you'll realise that Danny spends £6.50. He says he should get £3.30 change. Is Danny correct? No. Alright, and words to the effect of he's 20 pence out, or he should get an extra 20 pence, or etc. etc. However you do it, however you word it, it's up to you, but no would suffice with those numbers. Number 10, Rachel records a temperature, etc., etc. It's overly wordy, it's all about the numbers. So on Monday, the temperature's at 5. And then we go 10 degrees less. So go to 0. 10 degrees less takes you down to -5. On Wednesday, it's 3 greater. So you go up and you finish at -2. So your job is to work out by counting or taking away. Find difference by subtracting. So 5 take away -2 is 5 plus 2 for the answer of 7. However you go about it. Number 11. pictograms. Now, as soon as you see something like this, my starting point before I read all the waffle is go, oh, we've got 2 of them, so there's 16 there. There's also 16 there, but there's another 6 there, so there's 22 on that row. And then for Wednesday, so a small block should represent 2. 2 plus 8, there's 10 there. And then you can start, and it makes the next few bits much easier. How many video games sold on Monday? 16, already worked out. More were sold on Tuesday than Wednesday. How many more? All right, so how many more? You could work out the difference in blocks, but we've already got it there. 22 minus 10 gets us the correct answer of 12, no matter how you go about it. And next, on Thursday and Friday, total of 32 video games. A quarter are sold on Thursday, so 32 divided by 4 makes 8. So in goes one of these diagrams to signify 8. And if 8 are sold on that day, 32 minus 8 makes 24. So you're needing 3 of those on Friday. And there we go. On to number 12. So wordy, and as you can tell, fractions, but as always, one thing at a time. So there are 2 drama groups. Separate your work, group 1 and group 2. In one group there are 36 boys, 48 girls. In the other group, 3/7 are boys, and the rest, that'll be 4/7, are girls. And says the ratio. So let's simplify both of these ratios. So over on the left-hand side, let's divide all the numbers by 12. We get 3:4. And when you've got ratios written like that, you can basically ignore, because 7 is just really the total. 3 plus 4 makes 7. So it's exactly the same. There we go. Is and correct. Yeah. And again, you could waffle. But as long as you're supported by those numbers and showing it clearly, just a yes will suffice. Number 13, Emma says that the next term is 7. Why might she be correct? Because as we know, it could be 8 by double, double, double. But why might she be correct? Because she's looked at the differences, and she's assuming that the differences are going up one at a time. So that's why she might be correct. Find the 8th term of the triangle numbers, so best just to keep adding. Alright, you haven't got a calculator, but don't worry about it. As you can see, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, add 5, add 6, add 7, add 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's your 8th number. Your 8th triangular number. On to number 14. So, 4 marks, plenty to do, but keep it simple, one thing at a time. So let's just look at carrots. 3 kilograms, £1.80. So mental arithmetic or bus stop. You'll realise it's 60 pence per kilogram for carrots. So that means 2 kilograms of carrots, double the price, £1.20. So 2 kilograms of carrots and 5 kilograms of potatoes. So let's start with the £3.45 and let's take off the cost of the carrots. That gives us £2.25, and that's the cost of the potatoes, or to be more precise, 5 kilograms of potatoes, we want the price of 1 kilogram. So again, mental arithmetic or bus stop, 45 pence, however you want to write it, is the cost of 1 kilogram of potatoes. So work out the total cost. 4 kilograms of carrots. So we've already got the cost of 2. So we'll double it. 2 kilograms of potatoes. So we'll double it. And adding our scores together, we're getting £3.30 as the total cost. Lots to do, but ultimately it's a decimals question and just follow it one step at a time. Number 15, some algebra. Expand means multiply out, so everything inside the brackets needs multiplying by 2. Here, factorize means put the brackets back in. Factor, what do they have in common? They only have the letter y. Y times 6y is 6y squared. Y times negative 5 is negative 5y. On to part C. Do the opposite, so I'll get rid of the minus 7 by adding 7 to both sides. And I'll find the value of x, 4 lots of something of 44. Divide 44 by 4 to get 11 as your answer. Next. So, setting up and solving. Not everybody's favourite, but just do what you're told for part B. Just follow it through, keep things simple, and don't get put off by it. So, Jasper says that x could be 0.5. Now, if that's true, and you put it in, 4 lots of 0.5, take away 2 is 0. You can't have 0 as the length of a side, and that's impossible. Next, so don't get put off by the words. You're told A to D is 3 times this. So times everything by 3. 4x becomes 12x, and minus 2 becomes minus 6. Now you're tested on what you know about a kite. Kites have a line of symmetry. So the 4x minus 2 is repeated over here. The 12x minus 6 is repeated over here. What does the word perimeter mean? Perimeter means all the way around. So let's add up everything as we go around. So all the x's added together, there's 32 of them. All the numbers added together, negative 6's, negative 2's, negative 16, equals the perimeter. And just like the previous question, it's another solving, just like question 15, sorry. So add 16 to both sides. Not the easiest without a calculator, so divide both sides by 32. Let's take it down, halve each number. Oh, they're in the 8 times table. There we go. £5 divided by 2, £2.50. Not the friendliest of questions, but don't give up on those. Next one. Heidi's making biscuits. So, Heidi thinks she has, assuming these weights are correct. So let's take one thing at a time. Let's look at the butter. So butter from 125 to 500, that's a multiplier. It's a double. Double it to 250. double it to 500. That means she can make 4 times if butter was the limitation. So she could make 48 biscuits. Let's look at flour. 200 times 3 is 600, times 4 is 800. It's halfway in between. Alright, so that is going to reduce the amount. So 12 times by 3 is 36. Add on half, 42 biscuits. So flour is going to run out before the butter. So the butter is not one of the limiting factors. Sugar, 50 grams to 250. It's a multiplier of 5. So she could make 60 biscuits. So no, she's going to run out of flour first. So when she's run out of flour, she'll have made 42 biscuits. And that knowledge takes you through for part B. She realizes she's got more sugar. Well, it doesn't matter. Does this affect the number of biscuits? No. She runs out of flour first. Or something like, no, it's more flour she needs. If she wants to make more biscuits, need more flour. Number 18, here's where I make a joke of my ability to use technology. So if you've gone for this on a table of values, which a lot of people do prefer, stick with easy numbers, 0, 1 and 2. If x is 0, 2 noughts minus 2, 2 ones minus 2, and 2 twos minus 2. Obviously, you could have done it using the gradient and the intercept, starting at minus 2 and going up in steps of 2, so 1 unit to the right and so on. But I've gone for the coordinates method, so 1, 0, 1 along, 0 up, 2 along, 2 up, and you can see it's corner to corner, so this is where I make a total hash of it. Something like that. Do you know what? I've impressed myself. So there we go for number 18. Number 19. So there is a formula for percentage profit loss, whatever you want to call it. It's actual for actual profit or loss divided by original amount times 100. Now, just because you're on non-calculator paper doesn't mean you should get put off. Usually things on this paper, you can do lots of cancelling out. So earn your first mark. The actual loss is £24 over the original price. And your job is to multiply it by 100. Now, people I know aren't a fan. Don't forget 100 is 100 over 1. Now, how you multiply fractions is top times top, bottom times bottom. But before we do that, we can take a naught off the top and bottom. We can end, so there you go, 24 times 10, 8 times 1. And so again, mental arithmetic or bus stop, 8 into 24, 30%. All right, don't get put off by them. The numbers will always cancel down to be much more straightforward. Question 20, a tricky number page. So how do you multiply decimals? Ignore the decimals. So use your favorite preferred standard way. If it's grid, area, whatever you prefer, split the numbers up, do whatever it takes, whatever works for you. 7 twos are 14, 6 twos are 12, add that on 13, 3 twos are 6, so 734 for the top row. Put the 0 in because that's a 40, not a 4. 7 fours are 28, 6 fours are 24, 26, and 3/4 are 12. Add on the 2, we get 14. So our total here, 4, 1, 4, 5, 1. So that's going to be the digits in our answer. In the question, there are 3 numbers after the decimal points. We need 3 in the answer. So question B, dividing by 1.6. No, I'm not very good at my 1.6 times table. As you may or may not remember though, dividing by 1.6, if you multiply both numbers by 10, feel free to double check on the calculator afterwards, but these two sums give you exactly the same answer. Now dividing by 16 might not be everyone's favourite, but just add on 10, add on 6. Keep going until you've had enough. Now, if you're not a fan of long division, don't do long division. Do it as normal bus stop with slightly larger remainders. So 16 into 5, nope, 16 into 59 goes 3 times. And if you count on from 48 to 59, you get your remainder of 11. 16 into 118, there we go. That's 7 16s, or 112, count on, remainder of 6. 16s into 64 goes 4 times. Job done. And like I said at the start of this part B, you don't need to move the decimal point. That is the answer. Feel free to confirm it on a calc. And diagrams. So again, like previous videos, don't care what that squiggle means. It means just worry about even numbers under 19. So yeah, you could start with 0. The mark scheme doesn't really care about 0. But just count up. Where does 2 go? 2 is in the circle of B. Where does 4 go? It's not mentioned in either. 6 is listed in both. 8, neither. 10, neither. 12, just in A. 14, just in B. 16, not mentioned in either. And 18 is listed in both. That's it. Even numbers under 19, job done. Number 22. So again, I'm not a fan of anyone who does the whole numbers to begin with, 4 minus 2. No, not a fan, particularly in questions like this, where you'll end up with a fifth minus 2/3 and you'll go into negatives. Just stick to, change them top heavy, make them improper. If you look for shortcuts, you don't practice the skills. So 5 and 3 both go into 15s. So on the left-hand side, we treble the top and the bottom. On the right-hand side, we times top and bottom by 5. Now you can subtract the numerators. Does say to give your answer as a mixed number, how many times does 15 go into 23? Once, with a remainder of 8. And the denominator stays the same. Number 23. Wordy, wordy, wordy. It's one of those old questions that goes TR, TR, etc. So as soon as they start trying to mix things up, get yourself organised. Let's do Tamara first. So 220,000 is her price. The value decreases. Well, let's work out 10%. Take off a 0. So 20%, we double it. Whoops. Now Tamara's house decreases. So it's 220,000 minus 44,000. So 220, so 10, take away 4, 21, take away 4. The value of her house is now £176,000. Move on to Raheem. Again, same process, 10%, take a naught off, 16,000. 16 trebled is 48. So 48,000, and that gets added on to his £160,000 property, giving him a £208,000 valuation. So don't forget, don't stop at that point. It's asking you whose house had greater value. That's all it needs. No need to add a sentence on. You've got the numbers which support your conclusion. Next one. R, M, and I collect stickers. So I don't like ratios alongside. R, M, I. 4, 7, 15. So, as it stands, there is assuming Rosie has 4, Matilda would have 7, Ibrahim would have 15, they would have a difference of 8. So, they don't have that many. What we want is that difference to be 24. Let's treble everything, because if we treble everything, that will treble the difference. That's now 24 as specified in the question. Ibrahim has more stickers than Rosie, so it's 45 is how many he has, 12 is how many she has. So mental arithmetic or work it out. He's now got 33 stickers more than Rosie. Number 25. So you've got a formula sheet, formula page. The formula page tells you that the volume of a prism is the area of the face multiplied by the length. So let's work that backwards. Volume divided by the length will give you the area of the face. So 750 or 75 divided by 25 is 3. So that tells us the area of the triangle is 30. Now don't get lulled into the non-fact actually, that it's a height of 6. Yes, 5 sixes are 30, but don't forget the formula for the area of a triangle is a half of the base times the height. So actually, 6 won't cut it, because 6 times 5 needs halving. So based on that fact, although 6 would have been your initial thoughts, we need it to be 12, because 5 12s are 60. Halve it, gives you the 30. It works a treat. Number 26 looks horrendous. Don't worry about it too much. One thing at a time. Now, you might not get all 4 marks, but at least start the process. So let's look at this cube. Surface area of a cube is literally the area of all the surfaces. Each surface is a square, and each square is x times x. So if we look at just the cube, there are 6 of those. Now let's look at the sphere. You've been given the formula. It's 4 times pi times the radius squared is 9. So let's not worry about the pi. We haven't got a calculator. Let's leave it as 36 pi. You're told that these are equal. So 6x squared equals 36 pi. It's no coincidence. They're in the 6 times table. Let's divide both sides by 6. And if you know something squared, how do you find the original? You square root it. Algebra, do the same to both sides. Square root. And obviously you haven't got a calculator. It doesn't want you to use a calculator. You're leaving the answer like that. Next, error intervals and all that malarkey. So in this context, 1 decimal place is like saying nearest 10 pence. So when a number's been rounded off to the nearest 10 pence, go up and down by 5 pence. So add 5 pence onto this, £7.25. Take 5 pence away, and don't overcomplicate by thinking you've got to worry about recurring decimals and all that nonsense. Finally, question 28. Not the friendliest looking, but they're only worth 1 mark each. It's just a bit of knowledge. Gradient in terms of, don't forget, y equals mx plus c. I've written it back to front because that's how it is. M gradient is whatever is the coefficient, whatever's next to x. Write down the coordinates where it crosses the y-axis. So if we were drawing this, it would cross at 3. So that's the first thing. It's on the y-axis. That means x coordinate of 0, and it's 3 up. Might look tricky, but just a little bit of thought, you can get it. Hope that helped with this walkthrough. I'll see you on the next one.